not cutting, but untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Emerge movement. I am Isaac J. Miles Sr., your host, and I'm so glad that you've decided to join me tonight for this conscious conversation. We are empowering you on your journey towards spiritual wholeness, and we are hopeful that what you receive and glean from tonight's conversation will be helpful to you in creating the life that you desire so that you can be the highest and best version of yourself. I'm going to ask all of you that are watching me right now on Facebook as well as on YouTube, if you will, please take a moment and tag and share, like this particular video, and hit the notification button so that you'll always know when we're getting ready to come on the air. Tag as many people as you desire to do, and please share this on your page so that everybody on your page will be able to see us and they can come and join the conversation as well. I am excited to be able to share with you this evening. I've had about a good half gallon, almost a gallon of water, just trying to rejuvenate myself and get ready to come on and share with you. Because I was working out in that hot sun today, and I'm telling you, that sun put something on me. It put it on me. It put it on me. That sun was working. Lord have mercy. But I've had some plenty of water to hydrate myself, had a moment to catch my breath, and to get everything together, prepare to come in and to share with you tonight. And so I hope that you've had a really good and productive day. Those of you who had to work today, that you've been able to make it home, or maybe you're on your drive home and you're just listening in your car as you are on your way home as well. Those of you who had the day off, I hope that you are rested and prepared and ready. Your mind is clear and you are ready to hear, receive, and learn and grow and evolve tonight. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good conversation. This conversation was actually birthed out of our last conversation that we had on Sunday, where a number of you were asking me about meditation. Some had never meditated before. Others wanted a refresher course on meditation. And so I thought that tonight I would take some time and go over the basics of meditation. I'm not going to get too far or too deep into the weeds with it tonight. We won't get into all the varying types of meditation: Zen meditation, mantra meditation, transcendental meditation, mindful meditation, and so on and so forth, and dealing with all of the specifics and the how-to and the mechanics of all of the different types. I just want to reacquaint and acquaint those of you who may be new with the spiritual practice of meditation. And yes, I said spiritual practice, as those of you who have been listening and following this particular platform, and others who may be uninitiated may have never heard this before, but those of you who are familiar, you know that meditation is one of the keys to the universe. And again, I always say this, that's not hyperbolic. I'm not being, I'm not exaggerating when I say key to the universe. The keys that we've discussed, and meditation being one, literally unlock the entirety of the universe across every dimension throughout time and space. That if you intentionally, consistently put these keys into practice, it will unlock all of the wisdom, the knowledge, the insight, the power of the universe to you and place it at your disposal for you to be able to use it in curating the life that you desire to have. Jesus is reported to have said that I am come, is what is recorded there in St. John chapter 3, chapter, what is that? I think it's 10. That I am come that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. I am the divine, the all of everything, the isness of God is come, that is, it is present in us, through us, and as us, that we might. That word might is very significant. That means that we have the opportunity to have life and have it more abundantly. That we have the opportunity to experience life abundantly, that we have the chance, that we have the necessary tools, that we are fully equipped, that we are loaded and coated in every part of our being with everything that is necessary for us to be able to have an abundant, overflowing, wonderful, adventurous, blissful, peaceful, joyful life. That we came here fully capable of having an abundant life. Now that's important because not everybody is living. A lot of people are just existing. You are just here, kind of going through the motions, following the mundane, keeping up a routine, but not really fully experiencing all that life has to offer. But the Christ has come, that is the consciousness of God, the isness of God, the very presence of God within us has come that you can experience life and that you can experience it overflowing, abundant, never-ending, joyful, peaceful, and full of bliss. That you have the opportunity to have a wonderful, magnificent, and phenomenal life. Now, note that word opportunity. That is to say that life will be what you make it. You are not subject to fate. You are not a product of a collection of accidents or incidents or occurrences. Nothing is happening to you. Everything is happening for you. And all of the universe, all of nature is conspiring together for your success. But you have to take the initiative to take the opportunity that you've been given to actually live and live abundantly, to be adventurous, to live expansively, to live a life that is overflowing. You can choose to live it in the mundane, and you can choose to live mad and upset and filled with fear and anxiety and doubt and degradation. You can choose to live it in misery and despair and woe is me, or you can choose to live your life in abundance of joy, abundance of peace, an abundance of all that you desire to experience in this three-dimensional life. And one of the keys to unlocking that abundance within you, to unlocking that abundance that is available to you, one of the keys to being able to really fully experience life to its fullness and overflowing is the spiritual practice of meditation. And I want to make sure that I emphasize it is a spiritual practice. Let me make sure I emphasize that again. It is a spiritual practice. I know oftentimes, especially in Christian circles, when they hear that term meditation, they get a little bit timid and afraid, and they draw back because they've associated it with what many in the Christian circle would call demonic or devil or witchcraft or some other kind of thing that, they fantasize about being something evil and hurtful and dangerous. However, ladies and gentlemen, meditation is a universal spiritual practice. Let me say that again, that meditation is a universal spiritual practice that is employed by every religion in the world, including Christianity, as well as by those who practice no religion. The atheist and the agnostic even meditate. Meditation is a universal spiritual practice that is practiced by every religion. In the Hindu, it is called japa mala, or it is mantra meditation. In the Sikh, it is Sufi Dekar, or a remembrance of God, a remembrance of my divine self. In the Jewish, they practice the Kabbalah, or the Kabbalistic meditation. In Buddhism, it is the metta meditation or Zen meditation, or they have several other variations of meditations. There is also the shaman meditation, the shamanistic meditation. In yoga, it is transcendental meditation. Among most of those who are agnostic or atheist is mindful meditation. All these different types of meditation. And yes, in Christianity, meditation is an essential part, an essential spiritual practice. That word meditate is found at least 14 to 15 times in your Christian Bible. Most of those times, I'd say probably 10 to 12 of those times are found in the Old Testament, and while 2 of them are found in the New Testament. The word meditation is found in additional, I think, 8 times in the Old Testament. There are 3 words that are used in the Hebrew text for meditation. Okay, 3 words. Here they are. The first one is haga, which means to murmur or to imagine or visualize. Sukha, which means to muse pensively or to reflect upon. And then sika, which means to ponder or to commune with. Are you seeing that? Okay. Each of them a different aspect of meditation, but all of them found in your Bible. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein. That is haga. That is to contemplate, to muse over, to murmur, to repeat it repetitively and imagine and visualize, that thou shalt meditate therein day and night. So this is a consistent thing that they were told to do. He said, thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then will you make your way prosperous, and then will you have good success. Listen to that latter part. Then will you who? Not God, not Jesus, not the Spirit of God, not the Holy Ghost, not anybody else. Then will you make your way prosperous, prosperous and you experience good success. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You see, it was never the intent of God to create a world or nation of dependence and cripples. He's like, no, I'm in you, through you, and as you, so I've equipped you with everything necessary for you to make your way prosperous and you to cause yourself to experience good success. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I see that. Yvette is asking, can you type those meditations? Oh, type them. Oh my, okay, you're gonna really put me to work today. Let me put my notes to the side here and grab my keyboard, and I will gladly type in. Oh, I think this is the first time I've been asked to stop and type. Okay. Those meditations. Let's see if we can get them in there. And again, I'm not going to type all of them. I'm going to type some of them. Okay. Mantra. Transcendental. Oops. And I don't type real fast. Mindful. Zen. Turmeric. What was the other? Kabbalah. Okay, those are the main ones. Okay, so here we go. You have mantra meditation, transcendental meditation, mindful meditation, Zen meditation, Shamanic meditation, and Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic meditation that's practiced by the Jews. Okay, and that is not at all an exhaustive list, a comprehensive list. It is just some of the main ones that are practiced, from Hindu to Buddhism to yoga to shamans to the Jewish and then Christian as well. Okay, types of meditation. I'll leave that up there for a second. I'll leave that there for a second so that you're able to write those down if you want to. And yes, David did say to meditate day and night. Okay. Absolutely, Teresa. He absolutely did. All right, everybody got that? And I'm going to take that down now. And as always, y'all always know that you can always inbox me or email me or text me and ask me for the notes, my notes, and I am more than happy to share my notes with you. I have no problem with doing that at all, okay? Because I'm not, possessive when it comes down to my notes, man. Look, I want you to learn. She said, Kermit the Frog. Lord have mercy. Okay. All right. So it is universal. It is a universal spiritual practice. Your practice, your spiritual practice of meditation will bring you a realization and then an awareness that you can choose how you experience each moment of your life. Let me say that again. Your spiritual practice of meditation will bring you a realization and an awareness of how you can spend each moment of your life, let me add, in bliss and peace and joy. How you can spend each moment of your life in bliss, in peace, in joy. I already hear some of you thinking your thoughts have become audible because you're going like, no, not every day's going to be sunshine, biscuit wheels, gravy train with biscuit wheels and strawberries and ice cream. There are moments of sadness and moments of despair. There are moments of those sadness and despair and grief when you choose to have them. But you don't have to experience those moments unless you choose to. Now, grieving is a healthy thing. Nothing wrong with grieving. There's nothing wrong with feeling your feelings, but at the moment that you feel them, you get to determine how long they will remain. You can choose to be at peace. You can choose to be blissful, to be joyful. You can summon your joy, your happiness, your peace. You can summon that blissfulness at any moment you choose to do. We only experience those energies when we allow ourselves to, for as long as we allow ourselves to. And it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with experiencing, nothing wrong with feeling it, nothing wrong with acknowledging a loss through grief. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just know that you are not tied or tethered to it and that it only remains as long as you choose to allow it. Okay? The spiritual practice of meditation is, as I said, one of the keys to the universe, and it is a catalyst for spiritual awakening or a more conscious awareness of the all of everything and all that there is. The spiritual practice of meditation is a universal key to the universe. And it is the catalyst for spiritual awakening to make you consciously aware. Okay? Opening it creates those aha moments that you have that to cause them to be more consistent, where your conscious mind becomes aware of what your soul has always known. The soul knows what the mind has yet to grasp. Let me say that again. The soul knows what the mind is yet to grasp. The soul knows what our mind has yet to consciously become aware of, so that it is a part of our conscious thought. But the soul is already fully knowledgeable. It knows all, understands all, is aware of all, and when it rises up, remember we talked about this on Sunday, rises up to align itself with the conscious mind, making it aware of what the soul has always known. And meditation unlocks that door, if you will, and positions you, aligns you to be in a place for that process to take place. It is the catalyst for the soul making the conscious mind fully aware of what it knows. Are you following what I'm saying? I kind of jumbled my words a little bit there, but I want to make sure that I'm clear. Okay? Meditation causes you to be more aware and conscious of what the soul has always known. It also makes you aware of the divine presence of all there is. That is the presence of God, who is the all of everything. And it makes you aware of the presence of God within you. Many times in the hustle and bustle of life, of our everyday life, we become unconscious of who we really are, our divine nature, and the presence of God within us. because we are not sensing it, feeling it at the moment, and we're not consciously focused upon it. Meditation refocuses us and causes us to become more consciously aware of that presence. And when you are consciously aware of that presence, the more aware you become of that presence, the more you sense and feel that presence, and you surrender yourself to that presence. You are surrendering yourself to God, thereby surrendering yourself to your own divinity, to your divine self, to your true self. Meditation enables you to do that consciously, intentionally, deliberately. It allows you to sit in that space of awareness of all that is and the presence of the all of everything, the Creator God, and the awareness of the presence of your own divinity. Are you following what I'm saying to you? Yes. Diana asked, so basically, meditation connects our soul and spirit at some point in time. Well, not soul and spirit. Soul and spirit are inextricably connected. It connects soul and spirit, connected as one, with our conscious awareness or our mind. It makes our mind consciously aware of what soul and spirit has always known and is, and its presence. Okay? So when we begin to meditate more, will this allow all our chakras to be aligned and in tune to the third eye? So you just opened up a whole nother conversation, but the answer, the quick answer to that is yes. Now, there are going to be some who are asking, what are chakras? That's a whole nother conversation. If you want to inbox me, I'll be glad to share information with you about that. And maybe I'll teach on the chakras in our next conscious conversation as well as our third eye or our conscious eye, or becoming aware, looking through the eye of spirit. That's really what third eye is. It is looking through the eye of spirit, seeing through the lens of God, of the divine, seeing all things panoramically as they are. Yes, meditation definitely does help to realign our chakras and open our third eye, causing us to see across space and time. Good question. Soul knows what the mind is not consciously. Okay, you were just repeating that. Helps us to remove ourselves from the pressures of daily life, allowing us to get back to our true selves. Yes. Okay. Teresa says, I call it the third eye, our first eye. Okay. I can understand that play on words, but it is our truest eye, our truest form of seeing. I have a saying that I like to say. I've posted it a few times. I see better with my eyes closed. I see better when I close my physical eye and look and pierce through and focus from the eye of spirit. I see a whole lot better, because then the entire universe opens up to me. Okay? All right. So this meditation causes you to be more consciously aware of that presence. Now, let me give you some of the other spiritual, emotional, and physical benefits of meditation. Okay. Meditation helps you to gain a new perspective on stressful situations. You ever find yourself stressing about this or that? And stress and frustration is the result of your knowing and yet not being consciously aware of. Let me say that again. Stress and frustration is the result of you knowing at a soul level, spirit level, and yet not consciously aware of. It's like when a person says, I know what I want to say. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. It's like your soul absolutely knows what's next, what's the next move, what's the next step, how to do this, what you should, where you should go, who you should see. It has all of the answers, but your mind is not consciously aware. And so you've got this force of energy, soul, pushing up against the conscious mind, and the conscious mind so bombarded and busy that it's not in a position to hear the answers coming from the soul. And so you find yourself stressed and frustrated because you know, but you're not aware. You know what to do. Don't ever say those disempowering words. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. You absolutely know. You're just not consciously aware of what you know. Woo, let me say that again. You absolutely do know. You have all of the answers loaded and coded within you. You came here with all of the answers, fully knowing what your purpose, your original intent was, knowing every step that you should take. The steps of a good man are ordered by that divine Lord that lives in us, through us, and as us. Predestined, preordained, ordered, already knowing, already mapped out, already known, but not consciously aware of. So you have to remember, be reminded, to reconstruct. Are you hearing me? What you know in your conscious mind, so that you become mindful, consciously aware of what you have always known. All the answers are right there inside of you. And meditation helps to unlock those answers by bringing mind, conscious mind and soul into alignment. So meditation helps you to gain a new perspective on those stressful, frustrating situations, circumstances. If you will just take a moment, instead of letting that stress lead you to get angry, upset, and so frustrated that you just want to yell and scream and kick and throw things and whatever else that you do, take a moment to quiet yourself and enter into a place, a state of meditation, so that your mind can be quieted enough to hear the answers that are emanating and emerging from the soul. I promise you, all the answers are already inside of you. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly where to go. You have all the answers inside of you. You simply have to go within and find them. You have all the solutions. You have the plan, you have the strategy, you have the pattern, you have everything you need already inside you. You just have to go within and find it. Even the word that we most often hear in the Christian circle is the word prayer. And I've heard some people, who seem to have now become anti-Christian, as y'all hear me say all the time. I'm not anti-anybody. I'm for everybody. Okay? I am for people. And whatever tool that works for you, that serves you to bring you into alignment with God, then more power to you. Yes, I still believe that Christianity is becoming an existential threat if it does not reform itself. But there are certain tools that are given to you through Christianity that are helpful. Meditation and prayer. Do you understand that that word prayer is not a waste of time? It's not just throwing up words into the air. It's not some declaration that you make out of your mouth to some sky god that's sitting up on a throne in the sky, with a scepter and a long white beard and a robe, but it is going inward. The word prayer literally comes from the word pros in the Greek, which means to come into close proximity, to come into oneness with, to merge with. So when we are praying, we are merging, coming into oneness. We are going inward to our divine self and communing with God within. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay? It's like the narrative when the woman who is described as having an issue of blood, and she hears that the ascended master is walking by, Jesus, and she says, listen to what the text says, within herself. So she doesn't say this out loud. She doesn't make a declaration. She doesn't shout it out. She doesn't decree or declare. She simply says within herself, if I may but touch the hem of his garment, I'll be made whole. That is a meditative prayer. She drew herself inward to the God within. And then she decided to use as a point of contact, a outward demonstration or mantra or focus, the hem of his garment, and said, if I touch that, then I'll be made whole. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So it is going inward. Okay? Meditation and prayer go together like faith, hope, and love. They are a group of essential elements our spirits need, absolutely. Okay? It is a spiritual practice that is essential. All right? I'm still going through the benefits of the spiritual, emotional, and physical benefits of the spiritual practice of meditation. You gain new perspective on stressful situations. It helps building your skills in managing your stress. It increases self-awareness because in many cases you can find yourself so angry or stressed or frustrated or fearful or filled with angst and timidity that you lose yourself in the moment. And you start to, as another narrative in the Bible speaks about, when Joshua and those other scouts come back, see themselves as grasshoppers amongst giants. And so you start to expand and exaggerate your circumstances, your situations, your encounter, your whatever is happening at the moment. You exaggerate them and make them into giants, and you start seeing yourself as the grasshopper. And so you become fearful and timid and scared, or you get stressed and filled with anxiety and frustration. But meditation causes you to become more self-aware, and it shifts the perspective now to where you start to understand that you are the giant, that you are the divine, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniactive being, and that you reign supreme over all situations, circumstances that occur in your life, because everything is intertwined and working together for good. Okay? So meditation makes you more self-aware. It helps you to focus on the present moment. Many fears come from a story we tell ourselves about something that hasn't even happened and may never happen. Let me say that again. Our fears come from a story we tell ourselves. Remember that you're the one writing the story. You are the writer, the producer, the narrator, the actor. You are every part of that story. And it is a story that you tell yourself about something that hasn't happened and may never happen. Well, what if this? And what if it doesn't work? And what if I lose this? And what if they leave me? And what if I get hurt? And what if this? And what if? And what if? It's a story. It's a narrative that you're telling yourself. Are you hearing me? And so meditation refocuses your mind on the present moment and causes you to see clearly what is, instead of creating a narrative or a story about what may be or what has been. It keeps you focused in the eternal moment of now. Because everything that will be is an illusion, yet to be created. You are only living in this moment, from moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, in the eternal moment of now. Everything that has been and everything that will be is just an illusion. It is yet to be created. It is just either a memory or an imagination. It is yet to be created. You're in the process of creating it in the moment. Are you understanding me? So meditation helps to gather your focus back to the present moment and keep you grounded in the eternal moment of now. That, consequently, reduces negative energy and its effects, negative emotions, negative feelings. Meditation also raises your vibration. Remember, we understand that everything is energy, and energy is always kinetic. It's always in motion, vibrating at a certain frequency. The higher the vibration, the more clarity of thought and understanding and sight you experience. Meditation raises your vibration by increasing your frequency and causes you to be able to gain clarity of sight and understanding and knowing. Meditation aligns, as we already said, someone put it in the comment, Diane, I think it was. It aligns the mind with soul and spirit. It aligns the mind with soul and spirit. It increases your capacity to dream and to imagine. It increases your level of creativity. Again, we're talking about the benefits of meditation. It increases your patience, your tolerance level. Yeah, Lord, give me patience. Meditation helps to increase your patience and your tolerance level because it centers you back in the eternal moment of now, causing you to see clearly what is instead of what is imagined. Okay? It lowers your heart rate and consequently lowers your blood pressure. Bree's on here. She's a nurse. Am I right? When you lower your heart rate, you lower your blood pressure as well. Am I right? Am I right, Bree? Put something in the comment. Tell me. Tell these folk I'm right, even if I'm wrong. No, I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm just playing. I don't see your comment coming up yet. You must be busy or at work or something. But I can tell you that when you meditate, oh, she put it in there. I'm right. See, there it is. Let me put it on the screen so everybody can see. I'm right. Why you had to laugh? Wait a minute, don't laugh. I'm right. Okay. It lowers your heart rate, thereby lowering your blood pressure. Okay. And I am a living, moving witness of that, because man, there are times I can feel my blood pressure rising, and my head starts hurting, and I'm starting to get dizzy. And if I can get to a place where I can be still and quiet and draw myself in through meditation, my heart rate slows down, my blood pressure comes down, and I return to a place of health. Are you understanding me? It also improves your quality of sleep. If you will meditate prior to your going to bed, and I try and meditate every single day. Well, I make sure I meditate every day, but I try and do it at least 2 times, sometimes 3 times a day. And I don't always succeed, to meditate right before going to sleep. Sometimes I'm so tired I fall right off to sleep, and I don't even, it ain't no meditation taking place. I just go to sleep. But most of the time I try to just lay there for a while and close my eyes and draw my mind in and quiet myself so that I'm able to meditate. And in doing so, I'm able to rest peacefully, unless, of course, I'm getting ready to travel, spiritually travel. And that's a whole nother conversation that we're getting ready to come to in just a moment, okay? It increases your inner stillness and your peace. It makes you consciously aware of your oneness with the all of everything, and therefore, consequently, your oneness with everything that exists, your oneness with all of humanity, all of nature, and all of the universe. Because you are one with all of those things, intertwined, interconnected, interdependent upon all of those things. One with God, one with humanity, one with nature, one with the universe. But you can become so bombarded with the cares and the affairs of life that you lose conscious awareness of your oneness with everything. And so you start thinking of yourself as separate and apart. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? You start thinking of us and them, me and that, over here and over there, God up here and me down here. No. But we are one with all things. Because we are one with God, we are therefore one with all that emanates out of God, which is every being, individuation of soul or being, and every living thing, and every inanimate thing. We are one with nature, one with the universe, and one with each other. And when you draw yourself in through meditation, it makes you consciously aware of your oneness with everything. You can start to sense the movement, the rhythm, and the vibration of the night and the day, and the stars and the universe, and the grass and the trees and the flowers. You start to feel the rhythm and movement of the wind and the air, of the elements and the particles that are moving around you, the movement of souls, every individuation in being form, as well as souls that are formless. Ooh, yes, I said it. Makes you consciously aware of your oneness with souls that are formless and have yet to enter into a particular iteration in this three-dimensional experience that we call life in this dimension or in other dimensions as well. Which brings me to the next benefit, is that it opens portals. Meditation is the key to opening or unlocking portals into other times and spaces and dimensions. Meditation is the key. It is crucial, the catalyst to opening portals to different times and spaces and dimensions where you encounter yourself as yourself in different iterations across the multiverse. And when I say encounter yourself, I'm not talking about yourself as in the form that you exist in this three-dimensional world, but yourself as in the individuations of soul that exist across the multiverse in various dimensions, time, places, and spaces. Are y'all hearing me? Meditation is key. Many of you have heard me talk about what the New Age movement calls astral projection, when others call, yogas call soul travel. It's not really traveling. It's not really projecting. Literally, it is becoming consciously aware of yourself in every space and place across the multiverse. You're not traveling there because you're always there, omnipresent. There is no place that God is not, therefore, there is no place that you are not. But you are only consciously aware of yourself in this place. Meditation opens the portal for you to become consciously aware of yourself in various times, spaces, places, and dimensions across the multiverse. And I just probably lost about 6 or 7 of you right there. And then you're going to tune me out now. It's like, oh, here you go with that old New Age stuff. This is not New Age. I can even show you examples in your Bible. Lord have mercy, you, those of you who are Christians. You read this stuff all the time and you're not aware of it because it's not used in that terminology. You use a whole lot of semantics, or it's either skipped over by your preacher. One example is the narrative of when Jesus meets the eunuch who is riding on a chariot. And he still walks up and he hears him reading something from a particular scroll or script. And he asks him, do you understand what you read? And the man says, no, I don't understand it unless somebody teaches me. And so Jesus takes a moment and begins to teach him from the scroll that he's reading. And that's where that whole did not our hearts burn within, because he talks about how his heart burned within as he taught him on the way. And then he says, I want to be baptized. And Jesus says, okay, well, fine. There's some water right here. Let's go and get in this water, and we're going to do this thing. And he takes him and he baptizes him in the water, and he comes up out of the water. But when he comes up out of the water, Jesus disappears. Check your Bible, check the narrative. It's in there. Jesus is no longer there and appears some 150 miles away in a different place. Is that witchcraft? Is Jesus a warlock? A wizard? Was he a wizard? Was he a warlock? Was he demonic? And didn't that same Jesus, isn't it written that he said that everything that I've done, you'll do also? Talk back to me, Christian folk. Ikando shayara nanamasi. Erendelebo hosha. Eat a mosquito. You coming on? Come on, talk back to me. So then, if Jesus was capable of that type of event or activity, so then are we. It was an example of becoming consciously aware of yourself in different times and spaces, and to the point of being able to physically transport to that time and space. And we'll talk more about that when we discuss transcendental meditation, transcending. There is a spiritual, soulish, mindful transcendence, but there is also a physical transcendence. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that in another conversation. Ooh, I hope I whet your appetite for that one, because we're not going to talk about transcendental meditation tonight, okay? We're almost out of time. I got to hurry and get through this. All right. So, and it also, one more last benefit of meditation is that it increases your awareness of the voice of God, which is really your divine voice speaking from within you. Okay? You all day long, you are bombarded with 100 million voices ringing in your head all the time. You have the voice of your supervisor, the voice of your coworkers, the voice of your friends. We haven't even gotten to those ancient voices of your mama, your grandmama, your uncle, your cousin, your sister, your brother, and all your other friends that you've had through the years, your trauma, your experiences, your hurt, your pains, your losses, your griefs. All those voices all coming at you all at one time, all of them saying something different, all of them trying to create some kind of cohesive thought within your mind that drowns out the sound of your own true voice, which is the voice of God within you speaking. And God is always speaking. Let me say that again. There is never a time that God is not speaking or revealing or making known what is known. You just simply have to align yourself to be able to hear what the Spirit is saying to the temple, the church. He that hath an ear to hear, this is not those physical ears, but it is your inner ear, your conscious awareness to hear let him hear what the Spirit is transmitting through the soul, causing it to rise up and align with the conscious mind in the church, the temple, the body temple. God is always speaking. The answer is always right there within you, resounding, reverberating, resonating within you, constantly churning, bubbling within you. Meditation helps you to quiet the noise of your mind so you can hear the voice of God speaking in you, through you, and as you. Y'all with me? All right, I'm already over time, but I'm going to take a little bit longer because I do want to give you I promise some step-by-step instruction on how to meditate. Okay, and I'm going to go through it quickly so I know it's quick. If you need the notes, you want the notes, you know what to do, and I'll make them available to you. Okay, so here are let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very simple steps for basic meditation. Okay? We're not talking about Zen meditation, transcendental meditation, mantra meditation, or any others types. We'll get to those in another conversation. This is just for basic meditation. Are you ready? Number one, you want to sit comfortably on a meditation cushion or on your chair or on the floor, or however, with your spine erect. So not straining, not overarching your back or anything like that. You want to be comfortable. Or if you can stay alert, you can lay down. Only if you're going to stay alert. Now, if you're going to fall asleep, don't be laying down. I'm going to just lay here, you going to sleep. Ooh, I started out meditating. Next thing I knew, I was snoring. Okay, so sit in the chair, sit in the cushion, sit on the floor, straight and erect, but not overly so. Comfortable. You can sit Indian style. I don't know if that's really Indian. I don't know. Is that racist to say? I don't know, but y'all know what I mean. With your legs crossed or not. If you fat like me, you may not be able to cross your legs. So just sit with your feet flat on the floor in a chair, or with them stretched out, whatever's comfortable for you, so that you can remain alert. Okay. Place your hands. You can place your hands on your thighs with your palms up. Okay. Or with the palms down. I like palms up because it denotes receiving. But you can do it palms down as well. But you want to be in a relaxed and comfortable place that you can begin to meditate. Number two, if you wish, you can close your eyes, or you can do it with your eyes open if you're able to focus. But if you're going to close your eyes, closing your eyes helps you to be able to focus in, to tune everything else out, to zone out of everything else. But if you're going to close your eyes, make sure that you are alert enough, again, not to fall asleep. And don't be telling me you're going to lay down and close your eyes, because come on. We know what's getting ready to happen. You're going to go from meditating to napping. Okay. Or if you are able to really focus, you can open your eyes. If you're going to do it with your eyes open, I always suggest that you find a focal point, or lower your gaze, not looking up and outward, but just kind of lower your gaze and stare downward. Find you a focal point. If you want to use something as a focal point, like a light or a lamp or a candle light or something along those lines, something that you can allow yourself to focus on, to give your attention to. Okay? And then, and if you fall asleep, don't get upset, just wake yourself up and get alert, start again. Don't judge yourself. All right. You're just starting. For those of you who are just starting, you're just getting started. So don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. And don't get upset if you get distracted in the midst of it. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as well. Give yourself the grace to start again. When you're just starting out meditating, you might, if you can go for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's wonderful. That's an accomplishment. And because the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Okay? The more you do it, the more consistent you are with this spiritual practice, the better you'll get at it. All right? Now, after settling into your posture, into your position, after you have, lowered your gaze or closed your eyes and you found that focal point, what I want you to begin to focus on now is your breathing. Okay? Focus on your breathing. You can begin by taking 2 or 3 deep breaths and releasing them through your mouth or your nose, and notice those breaths as they come in and out, and then just breathe normally. Now, the tendency is that when you start to do this and taking note of your breathing, you have a natural tendency to try and control your breathing. That's okay. It's okay, but just eventually you'll learn to just relax and just take note of your breathing in and out. Exhale, inhale, exhale. The natural rhythm of your breathing. As I said, at this time, as you are entering into that space of quietness and still, it's quite possible, even probable for those who are just getting started, that you'll have some distractions that'll come up, something will happen, some sound or something will drop, or somebody will call you or some craziness. Don't get frustrated and don't judge yourself. Give yourself grace. Adjust yourself. Remind yourself, breath, by saying in your mind, breathing. It brings your focus back to your breathing. And then pick up and continue. Okay? You want to make sure you're in a quiet space. Turn your phone off or leave it in another room. Yeah, turn it off, leave it in another room. Put it somewhere where it's not going to distract you. You can play meditative music if you like, if it's not going to break your focus. Okay? Meditative music, instrumental music. Not a whole bunch of, singing and praising and shouting and hollering and screaming, or even, that's kind of like Indian music. You don't want to hear all that. You just want instrumentation, soft, meditative sound. You can do that if you can hold your focus and your concentration and not focus on the music, but focus on the breathing. Okay? Other distractions such as, wayward thoughts, feelings, emotions, aches, pains, fantasies, all these other things will start trying to come to your mind. Believe me, your mind is cluttered with a whole lot of stuff. You'll find out just how much clutter you have in your mind when you start trying to meditate, because everything and its grandmama is going to come up in your mind, and you have to draw your mind back in. Use that word, breathing or breath, in your mind. Just say it in your mind to draw your focus back to your breathing. And don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself the grace and space. Don't get frustrated. Man, I only lasted a minute. That's okay. Start again. Go for 2 minutes. Set the goal for 3 minutes. And then 4. And you see what I'm saying? Every time you do it, try and go a little further. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Okay? At some point, number 5, at some point, your meditation becomes like this pleasurable, relaxing, peaceful, almost like you are melting into yourself. At that point, you can stop trying to focus on breathing or anything and just listen. Listen to the sound of your voice, that is the voice of God speaking in you, through you, and as you. God's voice sounds like you. I don't know whether that's God or me. That's the same person. Listen. When you reach that point of euphoria, peaceful, blissful stillness where you just seem to kind of melt into yourself. You can forget about the music and the breathing or anything and just listen. Sit in that stillness. Sit in that quietness. Sit in that peacefulness and listen. Listen. You have just positioned yourself for prophetic revelation, for insight and awareness and understanding and uncovering, unveiling, and awakening. Listen and hear what the Spirit is saying to the temple, to the church. Listen. For as long as you can hold that space, just listen. 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 Let it wash over you. And then finally, as you get ready to end your time of meditation, do something to signify the end of that period or that spiritual practice. Whether it's like reading an inspirational quote or closing with a chant or closing with, a song or respectful bow or ringing of a gong or a bell or a prayer. Pray in the language of your heart or pray in tongues. Yes, I still pray in tongues, speak in tongues as a part of my meditative practice. Yes, speak to yourself in songs and hymns and spiritual songs. That's what the scripture text says. Okay? But do something to signify that you are bringing it to a close. That's a form of worship. Worship literally means, the word for worship literally means to kiss, to draw close to be intimate with. And so you want to seal your meditation with a kiss. Are you hearing me? Now, I'm getting ready to close it. A couple of things that I want you to remember. There are a few things that are common with meditation. As you do it and become more proficient in it, you'll find yourself dreaming, having visions. Visioning is very common when you're doing meditation, when you're practicing meditation. It's ideal because your consciousness and your heart are now one and they are open and receptive to hear what the Spirit is saying, and your conscious awareness begins to create images, imaginations, and visualizations of what the Spirit is saying. Are you hearing me? Okay. So you'll have that. Your intuition will kick in and you become more sensitized to that intuitive part of your being. You become more open to receive visions and dreams, daydreams, waking dreams, lucid dreams while you're in your meditation. There will also be times as you become more proficient that your meditation will remain with you even after you have left the place of your meditation. It's possible that effect can stay with you for hours. It could even stay with you all day, depending upon the intensity of the session, your meditative session. Okay? And once you become more proficient with it, you can find yourself even learning how to perform certain things and acts and duties, go about your daily life in a meditative state. This is something that I do when I'm on a fast. Remember, fasting is another one of those keys. That when I am doing, I'm in a season of fasting, I try and make sure that I stay all day throughout the days that I'm fasting in a meditative state so that my soul and spirit and my conscious mind is open to all that the soul and spirit is saying, eagerly releasing into my conscious awareness. Okay? All right. So those are the basic steps. Very basic, very simple, very key to your accessing all the possibilities that are available to you. Now, maybe Sunday, that's our next session, we'll start to break down some of the different types of meditation. We'll talk about transcendental and Zen and mantra and so on and so forth, and Kabbalic and all of the others. We'll try and go into a little more detail, and we'll talk more about those specific types of meditation. But right now, I want you to just begin with the basics. Those of you who have just started with meditation. Now, there's some of you who are a little more advanced. That's fine, wonderful. Then you'll probably get more out of our next session where we talk about different types of meditation. But for those of you just getting started, just learn the basics, become proficient with the basics. Start right now, start tonight, before you go to bed, before you put head to pillow. Spend a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you're capable of in meditation, in that quiet stillness. And get a glimpse of what the Spirit is saying and what it wants to show you. Purposes are revealed, directions are given, enlightenment, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, power is released through meditation. It will strengthen and empower and inspire you. Okay? All right. Any questions before I jump off? Any questions before I end this conversation? I'm looking at the comments right now. I'll give you a few minutes. Oh, Diana said, one of the things will be to hang out in that moment right before you fall. Right. If you can get into that meditative state right before you fall asleep, ooh, man, yes, you're going to have some sweet sleep, restful, peaceful sleep. And you may enter into becoming more consciously aware of yourself in different places and spaces during that sleep, as the soul is able to fully release itself and experience itself in so many different things. Is it better to eat before meditation or after? There is no right or wrong answer to that one. You have to find what works for you. For me, I prefer not to eat. I prefer to meditate on an empty stomach. However, I can meditate if necessary, if I need to, after eating. You have to find what best works for you. It's not, eating does not prevent you from being able to meditate, and not eating does not enhance. It's just my personal preference. So you have to find out what works best for you. That's a good question, though. That's a really good question. Any other questions? I'm going to give you a few more moments to put them in the comments. Any other questions that you can think of at this point? Ask, and I am ready to answer. While you're writing your comment or your question, I want to remind you again that if you like the notes, you can, send me an inbox or an email. If you happen to be one of those who have my number, you can text me and ask for it. But just contact me and let me know you want the notes, and I will gladly share all my notes with you. Now, it is in note form. Okay, I didn't write it out in longhand. It is in note form. So it's like the skeleton, but I've put the meat on the skeleton, on the bones in this conversation. So if you want to take those notes and go back and watch the replay and pull it all together again, I suggest you do so. I know that it'll be helpful for you. It'll be empowering. Okay? I don't see any other questions coming up in the comment section. I'm checking again. Let me make sure. I don't see any. Okay. Okay, good. Well, I hope that this was very helpful, empowering to you. Listen, I'm going to ask those of you who can and desire to give a gift tonight, just to show your appreciation for this platform, for this opportunity to learn, to grow, to be stretched. Give whatever amount that you choose to give, whatever you feel led to give, but exercise your generosity and demonstrate your appreciation for this platform and for what you're learning and gaining from it. Take a moment, do it right now while you have your phone at hand and while you're thinking about it. Pick up your phone and use either Cashapp or Zelle and send a generous gift to support the work that we're doing on this platform. I'll appreciate it, and I'll thank you in advance for being supportive. All right. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you back here on Sunday at 9 a.m. Have an absolutely wonderful night, and we'll see you again